All right, let's talk about the king of currencies. For nearly 8 decades, the US dollar hasn't just been money, it's been the language of global trade. Oil, gold, debt, even a lot of your phone's components, it's all priced in dollars, no matter where they come from. But here's the question. How did the dollar take the throne? And what could actually knock it off? Act 1. How the dollar became king. The dollar's reign starts in 1944. Bretton Woods. Countries peg their currencies to the dollar pegs to gold. It's clean, predictable, and built on US economic dominance after World War II. Then, in 1971, Nixon cuts the gold link. Instead of collapsing, the dollar gets more powerful because the US Treasury market becomes the new gold. Think about it, a deep, safe, $1 trillion a day market where any central bank can park money, earn interest, and know they can pull it out tomorrow. Then came two force multipliers, Eurodollars, dollars held outside the US, greasing global finance. Petrodollars, oil priced in dollars, locking in demand. Add in US rule of law, free capital flows, and the Fed's credibility, and the dollar becomes the world's default setting. Act 2. The scoreboard today. Fast forward to now. Around 58% of the world's foreign exchange reserves are still in USD. That's down from 70% 20 years ago. But no one's close. The dollar is on almost 89% of every FX trade. If money is moving across borders, odds are a dollar's in the middle. In cross-border payments, China's yuan is growing, but still only around 3 to 4%. The euro's bigger, but nowhere near displacing the dollar. The dollar's dominance is still overwhelming. Act 3. The cracks in the crown. But, and there is a but, the share is slowly drifting down. Why? First, sanctions. When the US froze Russia's central bank reserves in 2022, other countries took note. If Washington doesn't like your foreign policy, your dollar access can vanish overnight. Second, alternatives are growing. China's CIPS payment system, local currency trade deals between BRICS members, and central banks buying record amounts of gold. Third, debt and politics. The US Treasury market is still the deepest, but repeated debt ceiling standoffs and ballooning deficits make reserve managers quietly diversify. Act 4. What could actually end dollar primacy? Here's what's realistic. A treasury market accident, a failed auction, or liquidity freeze big enough to shatter trust in US debt. Fiscal dominance, where the Fed is forced to monetize so much debt that inflation kills the dollar's safe haven appeal. Overuse of sanctions, pushing more large economies to create non-USD networks out of self-defense. Commodity repricing, if major oil or gas exporters stop defaulting to USD, a credible rival currency with open capital markets, rule of law, and trillions in daily liquidity. Right now, no one fits that bill. So, the takeaway. The dollar isn't dying. It's being hedged against slowly, methodically, by countries that still use it every day but don't want to be trapped by it. And unless the US triggers a true trust crisis in its own debt markets or politics, the dollar will remain king. But in the shadows, the exits are being built. This is Headline Circus, cutting through the noise, one headline at a time. Subscribe and stick around because the circus never leaves town.